Welcome back to the FallenGiantz podcast. We are back with another video, hopefully trying to keep it a bit more consistent than we usually do. How you going, lads?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Nick, how are you feeling after the weekend?
I'm feeling decent. I'm feeling quite lucky.
Yeah, good shout. You weren't feeling lucky in the chat, though. You weren't too happy.
There was a bit of anger, yeah. There was a bit of anger.
No. There will be
a bit of anger. Jeez.
There will be anger. There will be anger unleashed in this podcast. But let me just settle in, man. We're 41 seconds into it, so let's just chill a little bit, and we'll get underway. Yeah.
When we get bigger, I'm definitely just going to put key points up and flash them when we open the podcast. So the Onana going through someone would definitely be the opener in this.
Yeah, we actually have a bit like a trailer.
Anyway, there was quite a lot of talking points, though, wasn't there, this weekend? There was a lot going on. There always is. Every weekend, there's always going to be something controversial. I don't know where you want to start, really. We don't have to do it in order or anything. You can just go whatever's the freshest in your mind.
Well, freshest on my mind is you guys, but
agreed. Okay. Let's start there, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, may as well. It was big. It was a big talking point. To be honest, we caught life. We caught life that game we did, honestly, because I don't think any of us expected it to go like that. The way that game went, no one was expecting that.
No way.
Like, I looked at the lineup, so I was like, okay, cool. Wolves have got a decent team and that, but I did think we were going to dominate. I thought we were going to come flying out the blocks early on. I really thought we were going to impose ourselves early, and we just never got to it. I thought, all right, maybe second half, dodgy first half, but it just we never got to grips with the game, innit? That's the best way to describe it. We never got to grips with it.
It just, from my perspective, it was. I said it in our chat, didn't I? That it just looked like such poor football. It was one of the worst Premier League football games I've watched in a long time. Like, the standard was just so hit and miss, and it was hard to watch at times. And that's being a neutral.
It was bad. I just couldn't have called this. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I really didn't expect it to be that bad. I don't know. There was a little bit of optimism going into it, and you thought Wolves at home with a manager they just employed 4 days ago. You're thinking, wow, you couldn't have asked for an easier start in the season. But maybe pressure, maybe Wolves performed so much better without the pressure on them or something. I just don't know. What are you saying, Chaz?
From my point of view, it was a bad game to watch, but I thought Wolves got it spot on, to be honest, and I think they were really unlucky. I thought tactically I just thought they outrun you. They just sort of outran and sort of, if they took their chance, they had enough to really
They could have scored 4 or 5 in that game.
100%. They got in such good areas at times.
Was it named Chaz? Cunha really missed it.
Running from that boy, Jesus Christ!
What?
Who was he? The powerful runner? Who's the powerful runner?
Yeah. He was the one that played up front for them.
Yeah. Fucking at times, I was thinking, Jesus, he was.
No. But were we making him look so good as well? Because I just felt like I said 3 or 4 times. I said, as I was watching the game with my dad, I said, "How on earth have they been given the freedom of the pitch to run through? And it's so easy to run through it." I give them credit. Like, they have a lot of good ball carriers in their team. I thought the Hall was good. Matheus Nunes, he looked good as well. And even João Gomez, I think all of them look good really for Wolves.
But I think you like you said, you made them look so good. Like, I don't think they are actually that level. I genuinely
I don't know. That's changed my mind on just from that game alone. If Wolves continue to play like that, maybe they won't get as much freedom like we gave them. But they've got some good players in that team, actually, and I don't think they should get relegated.
Yeah, but I mean, I was watching stuff and thinking, like, the basics in my mind. There was times in that game when neither side could make a 5-yard pass.
No, I think Wolves were better. You're right, though. Wolves did the chances that we had came from their mistakes at the back. Yeah. That's the only way we got our chances. But my word, I just did focus more on United. We were terrible. Like, I genuinely can't even think of max more than 2 players that had above an average performance in that game. Like, I thought Rashford was terrible as a number 9. He just isn't a number 9. We've been known this. We know. Mourinho said it a few years ago. He hasn't got the tools to be.
Rashford said it himself. He went on the overlap and said it. He said, "I don't like playing through the middle. I like playing off the left."
Kaz, what did we say before the game? It had to be Sancho as the false 9 and let Rashford go on the wing, himself. That should have been the plan, and we were proven right in the end. And I'm a bit annoyed because Ten Hag doesn't normally get too much wrong when it comes to lineups and decision making so far, and I've kind of been on board with him. But this is something I associated with maybe someone like Ollie, where I was Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer, where I was always kind of against these ideas. But this was a bad error. I knew, what did I say, Chaz? Garnacho from the start, he ain't ready yet. I don't think he'll ever be ready, but we need to speak on him because everyone was like, everyone was gassing him up and stuff like that last season. But I know he's only 18 still, but the guy has limitations in his game that I can't see him being ironed out anytime soon.
Yeah, I think from his development, I think it would be a better idea. I know sometimes there's an element to give youngsters a chance, but I think he'd be better coming off the bench. Like,
he ain't generational though. He's not good. Like, when I wanted Mainu to start this season before he got injured, he's someone that I can get behind because I can see the fundamentals. Garnacho has showed me nothing more than being an impact player. Like, he hasn't showed me enough that he can be a starter and play consistently enough, like you lot have with Martinelli. Like, it's just, he's not there yet, and I don't know if he'll get there. I don't think he's that great. I think he's good, but not great.
He doesn't consistently terrorize defenders. It's only when they're tired and he comes off the bench he can bring an impact.
Semedo had him on lock. Semedo had him an absolute toast, to be honest. It's not just him. I don't want to just dig out him. I told you Rashford, Bruno and Mount were both just as terrible as each other in that game. And I feel a bit sorry, just from a tactical point of view, getting into it. I feel sorry for Casemiro because I looked at a heat map after. There was 5 Wolves players surrounding Casemiro by himself in midfield. Yeah. And Bruno and Mount left him hang to dry, really. They left him to dry. Like, it wasn't fair on him, and he looked very average because of that. And that is on the manager because he plays two high 8s with a lone 6 behind them. But where is Casemiro's cover? Where's the inverted fullback to help him in midfield? Because he felt like he was by himself in that midfield.
That was the thing for me. The worrying thing that I saw tactically was the space. There was no compactness. Like you said, even Arsenal, we add players into that central area. We add players by having inverted fullbacks. The space from midfield to defence was acres, and that's why they were running forward.
I get the logic. His logic is Ten Hag wants to dominate the ball high up the pitch. He wants to be as high as possible. And that's why you saw Bruno and Mount and so high up the pitch, almost on top of Rashford. And then you had Anthony and Garnacho holding the width, But the thing is, it just left Casemiro. And none of the defenders were high up, but no one was helping Casemiro in the middle. And I just felt like, I saw a couple of times Shaw went into an inverted role here and there, but we didn't have enough players.
It wasn't obvious, was it? Yeah.
No, it wasn't obvious.
It didn't feel like a tactic from Ten Hag to be like. I think Shaw might have actually naturally done it because he's quite a good player.
Ollie, I think Ten Hag almost wants our creative players to come from the back, and he wants the midfielders like Bruno and Mount to be extra attackers in a sense as well and stuff. I think he wants it so hard, but this is too risky. I think he must learn from this game.
I'm not sure he's got the personnel yet to play like it.
No, we don't.
Well, I think the thing that would hurt it, and could have hurt it, which we saw, was pace. If you're playing that high up,
and I worry. I said clinicality wise, if it was a Liverpool or City, it could have been another 6 or 7 again. And this is what we need to get out of it. We can't be like, I respect to a certain degree how risky we want to play, but we need to be level-headed and sensible during this. And it just, for me, it further proved that we need another midfielder as well if we're going to do this. We can't be a persistent with Bruno and Mount all season. We need to get an Amrabat type player over the line.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it did worry me. That was a really worrying performance, and I think I overreacted more than you lot. You lot were saying to calm down to me a little bit.
I was actually just going to say that to play devil's advocate. Like, we're talking about, and it was a terrible performance. Like, we're all aware of that, but you did come away with a win, and can you see past the terrible performance and write it off as a one-off? And then move on because you've got the 3 points. That's what matters. Like, we can talk about the penalty incident at the end, but at the end of the day, your points are on the board. And can you just wash your hands with that performance and move on?
I can't wash my hands with it because even in pre-season we were doing similar type performances. There's something wrong that needs to be changed immediately because I don't want it to become too late. That's the thing. We've got away with it. We need to try and quickly resolve it. Just a minor tweak. It just has to be something. We need to do a few tweaks here and there in the middle of the pitch just to get the balance right because I do worry. Otherwise, long term against bigger teams, I do. And I chose to ignore it going into the season. I kind of ignored. I was never a fan of Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno as our midfield, but I chose to ignore it and trust Ten Hag and see what his vision and plan is. But I shouldn't really be ignoring it. Like we do.
I don't get the feeling that you'll play like that against better opposition, though.
The problem is how do they change it? Because at the moment they haven't really got the personnel unless you're putting McTominay in there or something like that. Like
we need. I said,
and the full. We have the luxury at Arsenal of having ball playing defenders really that can go into midfield.
At the start of this season, right now, as it stands, McTominay is all of a sudden become a super key player for us now because
you haven't got any.
He comes in and is that link between Casemiro and one of the 10s, or this sounds mental. I've already said it, Chaz, mental so many times, but he can be like a backup striker for us at times as well to feed off. All of a sudden, McTominay's the key. And that is not a good sign. If he's the bloody key for us now, all of a sudden, like we've done something wrong, haven't we? And now there's talk of apparently we're obviously FFP. We need to be careful of the restrictions. So we sold Fred. We're trying to get rid of Donny. And now it looks like it's in doubt whether we sign any more players, let alone one more player as well. So and we all know the news. Maguire's staying now as well. So that's, again, more horrible news for us. He's a disgrace for that, by the way.
That one's just horrendous, though, isn't it? Like, from his side as well, you just think that apparently it was him and his agents that, I mean, you can't believe anything because none of us know what's going on behind the scenes. But all the reports say that it was his side acting too slowly. And you kind of think, like, just take the move. Get away from there. Like, what are you doing?
Do you know what this is? This is the problem with giving him this much money, making him feel like he's bigger than he is. And all of a sudden now he thinks he deserves... He probably thinking he's 30 years old and I'm not ever going to get a bigger wage than I am right now. So I may as well just see this out. And apparently he was owed, like if he was to move this season, he was owed a 7 million moving on bonus or loyalty bonus or something like that. And obviously we don't want to pay that for him. So he's happy. Let's be honest. He's happy to sit on the bench and potentially put his England spot in jeopardy just for some more money.
But he probably got assurances in the England squad. That's the problem.
I don't rate this from Maguire himself. I think he should. He's stupid. I think he should have the awareness to move on. He should honestly, and I think that's it now. We were ready to replace him with Pavard potentially. We had Pavard out twerking for us, Chaz, basically to fucking join us, and now we're stuck with Maguire. Even though I said Pavard wasn't my first choice, he's a whole lot better than fucking Maguire if we want to play the way we play.
The way your transfer window has kind of.
It started well, didn't it?
It's really like, apart from Nana, and then like Mount came through, and Nana came through, and they're like 2 weeks, right?
No. Højlund's.
Sorry, but he's injured.
Yeah,
right? And he's out for.
He's out till the Arsenal game. Yeah. Oh, Ollie's now realised he's got his own. No.
I was gonna say my worry anyway. I sound like I'm coming across a little bit doom and gloom, but from my point of view, he's. I trust Ten Hag, and I know you do anyway. But I do look at it, and I do agree with your worries because something that Arteta's always done, and what Arsenal have always done, is had them players to compact that middle. They haven't just gone ahead with Partey, and could have done it with Declan Rice and just left him to be that 1-6 and. He plays like Havertz and Odegaard and players like that would join the attack. But that we always have the Zinchenkos, the Timbers of the world that have come in to really help in those areas. So
it must be still a personnel issue. But I don't know the differences between Man United and Arsenal at the minute, the way we're trying to play. But I was assuming Martinez is the guy to step in next to Casemiro when we're on the ball because he's the best ball. He's best at retaining the ball and keeping the ball.
Yeah,
he came off at half time for two different reasons. I think one, he was on a yellow anyway, so we decided to take him off, which, okay, that's sensible. But secondly, I think apparently he is slightly injured still. He's still not fully recovered from this that bad injury he got at the end of last season. So we'll see how much that plays a part. But
yeah, I can't imagine solely being taken off just for a yellow.
No, he was on the tightrope. He was on a tightrope. I don't know if you remember, Chaz. There was one where he had to let Cunha run past him, otherwise he was going to get sent off. So he was one yellow. He was one tackle away, basically, from being sent off. And all this, just to sum it up, all this has kind of told me is that we're still quite a way off. And I think me and Chaz really said this in our predictions. Really, we are still quite a way off, and other teams may surpass us if we don't move quick enough in the market. Because
that was sorry, that was what I was going to say before my internet fucking ran off a pee. Is that your transfer like business has just been so strange? I guess like you've got.
I think it's been strange. I just think we started quick and we're ending slowly.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like I personally don't feel like, apart from Nana.
Yeah,
and obviously we haven't seen Højlund. We don't know what he's going to be like. But I don't know how much you've actually improved your squad and starting 11.
I think we've improved. I know what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say. I do think in the long term, Mount will be an upgrade on Eriksen. I do believe that.
How much? That's kind of what I'm alluding to. It's how much of a difference does Mount make to Eriksen?
Well, Mount has worried me so far. He's been absolutely pony so far as well. To be like, he runs around a lot, but on the ball he's been terrible. And this is what Chelsea fans were trying to warn me. So I thought he was better on the ball. I'm not writing him off. I'm not writing him off after 1 hour of football. I just think he's been fucking shit, to be honest, at the minute so far. I just call it as it is. So I think we've improved, Ollie, because I think Højlund. I mean, Martial's not fit, is he? So Højlund will be that is an improvement because he's our only number 9.
How long's Højlund out for?
He's out till the Arsenal game, which I think he's out for a couple more games in the Prem, and then he's back for the 4th game.
So we'll have to see how he comes in.
Yeah, but then again, Ollie, one thing is you don't want to put pressure on it. Like, I don't like putting all this pressure on, especially he's 20 years old. Like,
exactly.
Why have there's too much pressure on these individuals that have just come in and haven't even had the chance to settle in yet. And I'm looking at it, and Chaz knows how much I rate Mainu. All of a sudden, I'm looking at him as an 18-year-old kid, he's the most important player for us. He's like the glue in our team. And I don't feel like that should be the case at a big club like us.
Yeah.
Like, you look at... Yeah, go on.
My issue with the Højlund thing is that we don't have to spend too long on it, but...
That's right.
It is... I don't understand the price that he was bought for at his age. He's already injured, and... I don't know how many trees he's pulled up. I didn't know anything about him before he came in, sort of thing. Would you not just add another 15, 20 million on, going at Kane? Maybe it just was impossible. Maybe it was impossible. So you can't do it. But I just don't get it. I don't get the transfer. That's what I'm saying. I don't get the transfer strategy.
People have said that, but I don't think it was easy as that. I think Bayern put in a lot of groundwork for this deal. I think he kind of gave his word to that. I know he would have joined us if given the chance, Harry Kane. But I think there was a lot more to it than just... I think we signed Højlund for 75 million euros, and they signed Kane for wasn't it 120 overall package? So it's still a lot more money. It is for someone with 1 year left on their deal. Plus the wages will probably be fucking 300,000 more, for example. So it wasn't as easy as that, especially because we're working on a tight budget, apparently, at the minute. But my main worry is, just to get the last point in before we talk about just that VAR decision, is Ten Hag kept stressing during pre-season how he wants to be the best transition team in world football, and that's kind of about the history of United. We've always been like that. We've always been very good on the counters, transition football. He wants to align with the philosophies of the football club. But the Ten Hag that I thought was coming in was a possessional-based manager who came from the school of Ajax. And I kind of wanted that. And I said to Chaz at the start, I wanted that, the way Arsenal and City are playing, for example. I wanted to play like that. And he came from that same kind of school of thoughts. Yeah. And now he's changed it to maybe appease the fans and the board about the way United should play. We're signing players for that style of football. So the likes of Mason Mount and Højlund, for example, they're ready made for very frantic transitional football, where it's like, I'm not going to be able to see my possession-based football that I wanted anymore, because he's buying for that fast transition-paced football. And I don't know whether that's sustainable to go on and win leagues. We might be able to win cups with it, like we showed last season. We might be able to be a cup team, because you don't need to be so dominant, do you, throughout a 38-game season? But I chose to ignore it and back him. And I hope he's made the right decision and not gone against his beliefs of who he is, just to acclimatize to the football club, if you get where I'm coming from. I hope he's not kind of changed these ways of thinking.
The only thing I would say, though, is that not every team has to play.
No, I agree.
The Arsenal way, the City way. Like, you can win games playing differently.
No, but you can win games, but can you win leagues anymore? Like, that's the thing. Like,
I
gave him the benefit of the doubt last season. I said to you lot, it's cool. We played with De Gea, we had Ronaldo, we had Maguire. We had to find a way to get wins, and I was happy with that. It's fine. I don't mind you kind of sacrificing your game because you didn't have the personnel. But come on, we've got a lot. There's a few decent players are brought in now, and players have worked under him up for a year. We should be starting to see the better football like I required. So Chaz knows I back Ten Hag, but I will be putting pressure on him if it continues as well. Why? I don't have no loyalty to him.
He'll need pressure this year if things don't start well, and you don't see much change from last season.
100%. End of. Yeah. So we got away with it. We move on. We're very lucky, and I am.
Well, it's 100%. Like, just to talk about a pen quickly, it's 100% a pen. The referee board have come out and apologized.
They're what is it, Chaz? Aren't they? Aren't all the officials not allowed to officiate this weekend? They've been banned in it for the weekend.
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't.
I think that's what's happened. Simon Hooper and his whole team and the VAR are all completely barred from doing any Premier League games this weekend because
I don't understand how. I'm not really sure what. I don't know what they've seen. I really don't.
Chaz, they've come out and admitted the mistake. This is the first game of the season. So, and they've already had a howler, and they are banned from doing any games this weekend.
It's just a bit embarrassing. Like, I don't know if it's a cost thing, if it's like what. Surely there are good enough referees, even if we have to go like abroad and get whoever. Can't we? If we are a league where there is money everywhere, right? It's been proven. The Premier League has nearly the most money in the world.
Yeah.
So why aren't we paying refs ridiculous amounts to come here and properly officiate? Like, why are we dealing with substandard referees?
I think the key thing is that it's VAR, but you're not going to be able to get away with personal error, like actually making a mistake. But the key thing for me is why in that scenario, if say two of them said it wasn't a penalty, or one of them said it wasn't a penalty, or one said it was a penalty, why do they then not revert to the referee making a decision? Because if the referee turns around on the pitch and looks at it and says, I still don't think it's a penalty, then it's down to the ref.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why we just wave it away as if nothing's happened.
This is the thing, right? VAR is actually a good tool, but we are implementing it, or the refs are implementing it, fucking horrendously.
Yeah, it's making it look.
Do you know what's crazy? We went okay for most of the weekend, and the very last minute on a Monday night, we just had the worst call. Otherwise, it would have been okay. Yeah, so it just came at the very last second. And I don't know if when I saw it, me and my dad, I was watching. I was like, oh shit! I had a lump in my throat. I was like, this is a pen in it then as well. Like, I didn't see any other way. It wasn't a pen. And then I saw Simon Hooper running towards. I thought he was running towards the screen.
Yeah.
He ran towards Gary O'Neill and booked him instead. It was disgraceful, wasn't it? I could not believe they got he got away with that. Yeah. To be honest, I thought Onana had a good game before that as well. Actually, I think.
To be fair, I was going to say that probably one of the only players I would have called out would have been Onana in that game.
No, Chaz, he was good. And actually, did you see after he made a really good claim from across just to? Oh, he's gone again. We'll see this throughout the show. Did you see after that he claimed a really good cross right in the 97th minute?
That's what I was impressed with. And you've been bellowing at De Gea because he wouldn't actually claim it. Especially when they brought on big players like the huge striker and stuff like that.
And it's going to sound
mental to come and get the ball.
It's going to sound crazy because it was a penalty, but I kind of rate the balls of him doing it in the first place, like to actually take all that risk. That I know he made a mistake, but at least he wasn't scared of that. The Craig Dawson and Kolasinac coming in behind, and he had to make a decision as well in the end.
In theory, I know it's a foul, but by effectively going forward and sort of causing that chaos and hitting the player.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're rooted, they probably head it in, don't they? They probably score. So,
yeah, 100%.
But you ended up winning, I suppose.
I thought Varane was actually okay. I think he was decent, to be fair. Yeah,
Varane. You know, if we do believe in Ten Hag, if he can iron out and make some changes, unfortunately, it's got to be quickly. But if he can, you still have come away with 3 points, so there is something to build off on, I suppose.
Well, when we go into the game on the weekend, when we quickly preview it, I'll just tell you what I'd want changed.
Yeah. Although that is going to be an interesting one because that's one team that, if anything, probably are going to attack you. So
it might suit us.
We'll leave that. We'll leave that for the preview. Well, when we go into it, I suppose we'll go on to my club, shall we?
Yeah, we'll get Arsenal underway.
12:30 on Saturday. We won 2-1. For most of the game, in my opinion, we were in control of it, and there was enough chances to win. But the worry for me is I said this to Ollie, and I'm not going to go too overboard because we know we've got a long season, and we looked like we shut ourselves. To be honest, we looked like we were panicking with 10 minutes to go. Your ex-player helped that when they scored.
Yeah. He just seemed to run the length of the pitch. Yeah.
But the worry for me is that it's day one and we're showing signs of towards the end of the year where we went 2-0 up and then we bottle it and stuff like that. Yeah. It's not necessarily so much of the same of that, but it just felt like even on day one. Now, you can look at it and go, well, that's how important every game is. You can see the team care so much about every 3 points. But, I just thought day one and we're sort of shitting ourselves a little bit. I agree.
Arsenal showed moments of that last season, and it's this shift of momentum that they can't seem to, because after that goal went in, you never got control of the game again as well. And it just felt there was a few chances where Forest, they just don't have the quality to finish it off. But I do understand your worries in that sense, even though I'm still trusting Arsenal, but there's a mental fragility just still there at the minute, isn't there? That's not been ironed out. And I did see it a little bit. Yeah. And Forest at home is one of the games that, we all predicted 3-4-0s. And when you went 2-0 up with the beautiful goal from Saka, I was like, okay, well, this could be I thought 5. I was thinking 4 or 5-0, but Forest kept in it, and it just shows you, even at the highest level, I swear down, like one goal can absolutely change everything, and it just you crawled over the line in the end, effectively, at the end, which you just know.
And Arteta said it, and I agreed with him that another day we probably do win that 5-0, but I just felt like. And it seems to be 2-0 in my head because of last season, but it just felt like, why are we should be in more control of the game, I think.
I think you were up until the goal. I think you were basically dominated the game up until the goal. But
so I just mean we shouldn't panic that. I just don't think on day one we should be panicking like that. I really don't.
I was impressed positionally, just everything that United weren't doing, Arsenal were doing in that game, And I was impressed the way you were closing the gap. I liked, the pockets of space Havertz was picking up at times. Erdegaard was on song. It was all good. Majority of it was positive, but you're right. Mental fragility and momentum might be an issue still for Arsenal.
Yeah. No, and you mentioned Saka's goal. For me, that was a world-class goal, in my opinion.
I think he's... is he a world-class player now? I think we brought it up last season.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, if you look at we sort of said that we're looking for that, and he started it perfectly by doing that. We're looking for our wingers, whether it's Martinelli, Saka, and players like the Odegaard, finding 10, 15 goals. And
I can't believe he's reached this level. I can't believe he reached this level at 21 years old. I can't actually believe I genuinely have to hold my hands up and say, I just didn't. When I saw a young left wing back coming through under Emery in the Europa League, I just didn't see this coming. This is giving me Bale vibes in a sense as well. And that, like, I can't believe he's managed to reach this level, to be totally honest. And
no, he 100% has the potential to be one of the world's best players.
It's insane. I know I don't want to sound snob. I just don't. I didn't, because me and Chaz have had this discussion before. He's just absolutely just smashed it in all departments of his game, his individual game. But like, I saw better natural flair and talent in like a Reece Nelson, for example, and like how Saka has just elevated his game and become so efficient, very similar to I think Salah's a really good comparison. I really do think it's a good comparison with Salah, with Saka. And I've always had this bit of there's been a bit of a stigma that I've not given Salah his flowers, but I have in recent years. I know what he is and I know what he produces. Saka's given me them vibes where I know he's going to get double digits and assists and goals every season. And I think Saka may be a bit more flary than Salah, but I still believe, Chaz, you know, when I mentioned Stardust, I believe Saka's a star world-class player now. It's just maybe he's not he didn't have it all kind of within him at first.
Yeah, he's had to like develop and continue to develop every game, really.
I think of efficiency when I think of Saka. That's the first word I think, because he doesn't give the ball away, he doesn't lose it, and he pretty much is he's very, very efficient in front of goals. Remember when he first jumped on the scene, Chaz, how many chances he was missing, and he couldn't just use his right foot. He's just improved so well. I'm actually, you know, it's very admirable.
I was listening to an interview. I can't remember who with, because Arsenal players have done so many interviews over the past bloody.
You've been fucking You've been doing
Jesus.
so many.
I can't get my head around it.
Been doing GQ bloody shoots. You've got random biographies. You've got Zinchenko on 5 Live.
But one of the interviews, I can't reference it. Said about who Saka was. Oh, I tell you what, it was in Jack Wilshere's documentary, actually, saying about who Saka was when he was a Hale End Academy boy. And once he got his chance, he obviously took it, did what he did with it. But when Mikel came in, and Arteta basically took him to a completely different level. And then that rings true with like Sterling, Sane. Like we've heard so many different stories of like Arteta actually making players so much better, and I think Saka is the player he is today because of what Mikel's done to him.
I believe that. Yeah, I think he's definitely. We've seen enough evidence to see that Arteta has definitely improved his off the ball movement on the ball. I have to vouch for that. I think it's undeniable. Yeah, same with Martinelli, both of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if Ollie, if you had any thoughts. For me, like, nothing to worry about. We won. Like, we did have control, and on another day it could be 4 or 5. But I just didn't like potentially how we sort of shout ourselves a little bit when they scored. Now I know, you know, if we take our chances and we're 4-0 up, it probably doesn't matter. But just day one, as soon as we conceded, I know every game means a lot to us, and you know, to win a title, you have to care about every game. But I don't know if you saw it like that.
That like sort of rung true for me. You get that feeling, right? When we conceded, you get that classic Arsenal feeling where we're like, oh, we haven't got the fight, we're just going to bowl this, and we're going to concede again, and then we would chuck the goal away. I think that's always going to be like within a few of us, to be honest with you. But in terms of the game, I was actually quite impressed to see like I've seen a few like different breakdowns and stuff of it, and watched it back because I didn't see it live at the time. And what people are calling it is a fluid back 3, where Partey wasn't, because at times Partey was apparently playing right back and inverting and stuff like that. But what he was actually doing is going from right back into centre midfield, into centre back and then going back into midfield, and he was basically asked to go literally everywhere so that you could allow Rice to move forward a bit more, Havertz and Odegaard to be higher up, and then you've obviously got Nketiah, Martinelli and Saka sort of all in a final third waiting to take chances.
We're going to get your boy Nketiah again, or are we just going to ignore it all the time now? Is that what we're going to do?
No, we're just ignoring it. We'll ignore it.
No, we're not going to ignore it. No, we're not. No, we're not, because he's getting disrespected too much, especially by you, Ollie, and Chaz, both of you actually as well.
I'll tell you what. I'll give him a few flowers.
When he comes in, he does a job a lot of the time, yeah, and he worked his ass off. Arteta said after the game he was pissed off he didn't start the Community Shield final, yeah,
and
he came in, got his head down, and then obviously paid dividends in the end.
No, fair play to him for that. Fair play to him for his attitude.
He might be one of the best backup strikers in the league.
No, that's just.
No, it's not. What do you mean? No, it's true. He starts.
It's not.
Club.
It's not. Alvarez is back up to Haaland.
No. Forget. I said one of. Yeah, he's one of the. He starts for the majority of Premier League clubs.
No, I just don't think he does.
Yeah,
and anyway, we'll glaze over the Nketiah.
Also, you know, I know Chaz isn't, is a big fan of XG. Yeah, are you not a bit worried that?
I'm not a big fan of XG.
No. My last point. My last point of it.
You're not worried that Forest had better XG?
No. I'm actually genuinely not, because I still think that he's still tinkering with trying to do play different systems and.
Yeah, but you don't think that we should already know this? Why are we still tinkering?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think pre-season. Everyone's saying how good the pre-season was, right? I actually don't think they played or our pre-season went as well as they wanted to. I still don't think he knows exactly what system he wants to play.
Shit. He lost to us twice in one game.
I think we will see. In my eyes, Arteta has a little bit in him, similar to Pep, where his ego wants to do different things all the time, and potentially has a chance of overthinking certain situations or overthinking certain tactics.
Is that why Brennan Johnson went through on goal in the first half? So good, because he should be scoring that. He should be scoring that all day long.
It's a great Mikel Arteta winning the league for us.
Huh?
Is the great Mikel Arteta winning the league for us?
I hope so.
I can't be asked with these cop-outs. I'll answer for him. Yes, he is. He will. I think he'll get over the line. Although, I mean, you're going to quickly, address what's the Timber news, obviously.
Yeah, that's a fucking blow, man.
I heard it's the whole season, basically.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was listening to something earlier, and it's journalists that are close to the club, but people apparently inside are saying that it's realistically it's April.
Okay, so the season, yeah.
So if it's April, what's the point?
It must be worrying all the whole season, because they're going to act in the transfer market. So you don't do that if.
That's a killer. Yeah. That must be that, because he settled in, you fit in like a glove straight away as well.
Yeah, fit in perfectly. Changed the way we were able to play. Gives us such a good option. And
all of a sudden, you're back to, if Zinchenko gets injured like he normally does, it's Tomiyasu, back to Tomiyasu at left back.
But then you look at him, we haven't actually got enough options, because we've got no backup right back.
I knew that. How are you? Hold on, you spent how much money? So how are you back to this again? You're back to this.
No. Actually, go for our back line, right? So Ben White only right back, and unless you're classing Tomiyasu as a backup right back. Right centre half, Saliba and Holding at the minute. Left centre half, Gabriel and Jakob Kibior.
Why'd you go?
And then left back, Zinchenko and Tierney at the minute.
Oh, apparently,
but Tierney's going. So if Tierney goes and Timber's out,
I don't think you can let go of Tierney now.
I don't think they'll let go of Tierney now, though, because of this.
No, apparently it's still on. Like he's going.
Gosh.
Apparently he's going to Newcastle.
Yeah, well, then if they do that, they'll be definitely signing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You have to, because otherwise you've weakened. You somehow weakened. Going into the season. Yeah,
I think you'll see that Kavir play at the left side.
Yeah,
he did it in pre-season, and he's good on the ball.
They're all good on the ball, mate. I think all apart from Tierney, actually.
Apart from Tierney and Holding.
Yeah.
No, there might be, but
it's a killer. It's a killer. That would sink my heart, because if that was my player, Timber should have been our player. But if that was my player, I would have I'd have been pissed. We saw Alessandro at the end of last season. We were fucked without him, to be honest. So,
should we move on to our title challengers?
Yeah.
Manchester City. They opened the Premier League season with a 3-0 win away at Burnley. What did you make of that performance? Obviously, there's one talking point in terms of injuries as well.
Well, Haaland just continued doing Haaland things, then he carried on where he left off.
That was good, wasn't it?
I just think, but you know what? I don't even think City were that good during the game as well. Like, they weren't. They didn't have to be that good. It was just Burnley team that, there was a few. Burnley did impress me in certain moments during that game, but it was just a tale of quality in the end, wasn't it? That was the difference.
Yeah. I was expecting so much more from Burnley, to be honest with you. I thought they would be. Like, I agree with you, Nick. I don't think that City were at their best. I genuinely don't.
No, that's crazy.
At all. I don't actually think they got out of second gear, and they ripped Burnley to pieces almost. I was kind of expecting a little bit more fight, like first game of the season at home.
I think you got to be realistic, though, Ollie, man. As Burnley fans, you've got to be realistic first of all.
But and again, I watched Sky Sports did a video on like getting with the fans and stuff like that for that Burnley game and stuff. They were well positive.
No, they are. I said to Chaz in the predictions that me and Chaz, we came to a truce, and what did we predict them where? Like 12th or 13th?
12th or 13th,
yeah. So we expect them. I'm not gonna jump the gun with Burnley yet.
No. I think they will perform this season. I just think they didn't. What I had in my head for their opening game just didn't materialize.
Yeah, and City. I don't know what you're going to say, Chaz.
I think the thing is, I was going to say, I think it's quite harsh because, Haaland scored 4 minutes in. It's hard to get
coming back. They didn't even get through the first 20.
Yeah. It's so difficult. And then maybe 25 minutes in they built some attacks, and then half an hour and you're now 2-0 down to basically Haaland, not even City. Yeah. It's demoralizing, really, isn't it? To really get up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't stop this guy at the moment.
Should we talk about the De Bruyne injury? Obviously,
So you see that very differently to how I see that, Nick.
No, for me, this is a huge miss still, because I don't care how good this team is. He's the best player in the league, and that's the thing as well. And I just don't. And the reason he's the best. City, the best team in the league, is partially due to him being the best player in the league. Obviously, it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? As well, he's a key contributor for them being so good. If you know what I'm trying to say.
But does this not give the likes of Foden? We've all talked about how good we think Foden is, right? We're all in agreement around that. And I know that I'm not comparing them. I'm not saying that Foden is a De Bruyne. He's not.
You are comparing. Right?
But does it not give him he must be thinking in his head now, I can really shine this season. I can make a name for myself. If he's looking for a move or anything like that, he wants to go, I don't know, anywhere else. He might be thinking this is my time to shine, sort of thing. Does it not give the likes of Foden a bit more of a chance? Or
it gives him a chance, but he can think all he wants, and it's down to him to prove people, even like me, wrong. But he's not even a similar player to De Bruyne in a sense as well, and shit. He's more of a David Silva type.
But City's very good at changing their ways to fit.
No, I get that, but Pep has already said he's irreplaceable. They don't have another player with De Bruyne's skill set, and he's
but you can't. He's always going to be irreplaceable. But I still think they're such a dominant force without him.
No, but Gundogan and Mahrez, them two together kind of makes up for De Bruyne in a sense as well. But now they'll be maybe bringing in Paqueta and Doku, and I get all that, but I just think we will see it. Sometimes when City weren't on song or at their best, De Bruyne would bail them out with, a cross from the right half space, or he's both-footed. He can just whack a free kick in the last minute. City will be missing out on that, in a sense. He's a match winner. He is a match winner for them. And they are and Gundogan was a match winner, and so was Mara as a match winner. They are lacking match winners outside of them, apart from the Haalands and maybe an Alvarez type player.
Yeah, but I think that's harsh on like Grealish.
No, but
Silva.
This is what I mean. Grealish, Silva, Foden, they're all good players, great players, but they're all very good at retaining the ball, part of the system and all that. But De Bruyne was that one of the very few players that would do moments of individual quality to bail them out at times, because all the rest are kind of system players. Whereas De Bruyne, I never really see him as a system type player anymore. He was like the key bit of creativity and stardust in that team. And I don't think you can just skim over that.
Yeah, but then I think to go on what you said that you think that City or Arsenal have a huge opening now that De Bruyne's injured.
I believe so, even regardless of the Timber thing. Yeah.
I don't think that City, like, yes, he's amazing and he'll win them games in certain ways, but I think they're still like such a force and such a beast.
Such a force. I believe that, but this is the best player in the Premier League. This is why I'm making a big deal. Even with Haaland, it might even affect Haaland. It could have a.
I was going to say, I do agree with that.
Yeah,
you might see it takes 5, 6, 7 goals off of him solely because De Bruyne isn't feeding him.
It does, because I looked last season. If you looked at the combinations, them two combined a lot last season. I don't know what you think, Chaz. How big a loss?
Yeah, I don't really know like what exactly you're saying though in terms of how, because in terms of week by week basis, I don't think their strengths are going to be affected. I do agree though the key moments, like I think last season, I think Leicester, they were struggling in. He put
that goal.
in.
What about against Arsenal? Both games against Arsenal.
Yeah. Even Champions League goal against Real Madrid was quite important.
And the Bernabeu, yeah.
So it is them moments. So I suppose on a week by week basis, I think City continue to win games of football. I just think.
But I do think
someone's going to have to, whether it's Haaland, which I would have said. They're going to have to step up when they're away at Arsenal.
I was going to say, when they go away to Arsenal now, De Bruyne they weren't even great at the Emirates last season. De Bruyne did bail them out from the halfway line as well on that. Like, they are going to miss that. And also Gundogan, I'm telling you, Gundogan and Mahrez are huge misses.
I agree with Gundogan. 100% I agree with Gundogan.
Just because of experience. I don't think you can quickly go and replace that with Paqueta or anyone like that yet as well, because they've done it season in, season out. This takes time to get to that level. As well.
They've got a massive positive in the fact that Walker and Silva look like they're both definitely.
No, they are both. The good thing about City, me and Chaz said it on the prediction when our Premier League predictions is they're going to still be tight at the back and concede the least goals in the league this season, it looks like. And they're very solid. I mean, Laporte's going to Saudi apparently now as well, but we knew Laporte was leaving anyway before that. So they're going to still be tight and resolute. So that might be able to get them through games, but you never know. If they're going to have them cagey games against an Arsenal, Chelsea, whoever, is De Bruyne, we're yet to see, are they going to miss De Bruyne during their moments to bail them out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do half agree with what Ollie's trying to say. Well, it will be on players like Foden's or
it will.
At the moment, Cole Palmer, like they're going to have these are your opportunities, so take them. Alvarez as well. Like if you want to make a name for yourself, you stand up now and produce that. Even people like Kovacic, they should be thinking there's an opportunity to be a bit of a hero here.
Well, I agree with everything you just said, but I don't actually believe Foden, Kovacic, and that will fill his shoes. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, because you think De Bruyne is so far ahead, and I do agree.
I just think he's a different type of player to them, and I just think it's so hard to.
But do you not believe that? Do you not believe that Pep will change the way that he slightly tweak the way that they play to accommodate a Foden? Yes, instead of a De Bruyne.
So. There could be a better unit as a team, maybe during it. Maybe they're going to be a bit more functional and even more boring to watch, maybe because of it or anything. But
I suppose the question though, Ollie, is like if Odegaard got injured for the season, would you just be fine with us just going again with Trossard?
If Odegaard got injured, if he got injured for the season, you lot wouldn't win the league. I think is that important. Like I would hands down say it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, but I don't think that who we've got to back up Odegaard is good enough, because you could put the lights. So you never know. The likes of Smith Rowe could jump up, and you might see like he's been class for us in not last season, the season before, which hence why he got the 10 shirt. He impressed everyone so much. So you could see someone like that really step up. Do I think we'd win the league without him? No, I actually don't. But Odegaard is such a special character for Arsenal, and I agree that De Bruyne is for City.
Yeah.
But I still think they've got so much around to fill the void of De Bruyne. Like, you got to remember, he was injured for a lot of last season as well. Like
No. They have got through with title winning campaigns.
They got through loads of games without him. So can they do that again with the experience of John Stones being there, Edison, Walker, Silva? Like, they have still got a core group of players that will see them through the season. And I think I don't think you'll see the like, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think you'll see the drop off massively just because De Bruyne is not there. You'll see it in individual moments, but not as a team.
Because maybe they needed to start canning for life without him anyway, because he will inevitably decline from the world class level he was once at. Maybe this is like a fast track into them.
Yeah. And look, when you get to that age, you start getting more injuries.
He's 32 years old. But I think it was their own fault, by the way, this injury. Because they
agreed.
Back. He should have had the surgery straight after the Champions League final, and he would have been out for 3-4 months and come back in October or something like that. But they decided to rush him back, and that was their decision.
Pep even said it in an interview. He said he blamed it on the schedule, but apparently he spoke to the doctors and asked if he would be all right, and he wasn't even 100% fit, and he played him.
Yeah.
So you just think, what's the point? Like, you've got a good enough team to beat Burnley. Why on earth would you risk De Bruyne?
Yeah. All right.
What do you want to move on to? I mean,
we had the big game, innit? The weekend, Chelsea-Liverpool.
Chelsea-Liverpool, I thought had a lot of talking points, in my opinion.
Yeah, that did actually, to be fair. I mean, Caicedo was the biggest talking point before the game.
Yeah. Well, the business is just ridiculous. Like, they're getting Caicedo and Lavia now, yeah?
Yeah, I think you lot have not been responding enough in the group chat, as well. Like, no. You lot don't realize how big this actually is, do you? Like, this is life-changing. This is life-changing. Like, Chelsea have just spent 115 million and Ollie's not said anything.
It hasn't sunk in for me yet. No, I have said something. I agree with you that they've genuinely got the best midfield.
Ollie, they've got £60 million Lavia for the bench.
You were putting Lavia in your drafts for Arsenal at the start of the season. You were.
I don't know how Liverpool haven't got Lavia. That's what.
Both. They missed out on both.
Yeah. I know.
Chelsea,
like, Liverpool fans should be pissed off.
They are pissed.
If I was Liverpool fans, I would be pissed off.
They're getting Japanese sensation Endo now from Stuttgart.
Yeah, that Japanese international, isn't he?
You like him, Ollie, yeah?
Good no. He's 30 years old, so we'll see. No, Chaz is laughing. Look at Chaz laughing.
You know what we all said about Liverpool being like third or whatever in our predictions.
Yeah,
I didn't believe that until they got a DM. That was banking on them getting a proper DM.
That's what me and Chaz did. We banked on them getting the DM,
and I've changed my opinion. I think they'll be 6th, 7th.
Yeah, but there's still time. They can still make.
They're getting a DM. This Endo, they're getting Endo from Stuttgart. This Japanese international.
Yeah, but I mean, they might still make more. It's not necessarily just they'll end with him.
Well, they're saying he's an unsung hero in Germany. They said, "I'm being deadly serious. Stuttgart fans love him. He's their captain, apparently."
Yeah, I've seen him before. That Wantara.
Yeah, he had a good World Cup, didn't he? He had a good World Cup as well for Germany. So it could be a good sign. I think it could be good. Hopefully, they just keep their fucking hands off Amrabat as well on that, and then we'll be happy.
I guess it must be a difficult one to take for Liverpool fans because
difficult. My word, they've been in meltdown over it.
But you think about how they've acted in the transfer market, how they've recruited over the past sort of few years and stuff like that, and how good their recruitment have been. And they weren't spending huge money; they were buying gems and really like bringing them up and stuff like that. And then they needed Van Dijk, so they went and spent the money on him and stuff like that. And you just think, like, what's actually happened to their system? What's actually happened? Because it seemed like they when they went through that really good period, where they were fighting City all the way and they were in Champions League and stuff like that. Yeah, like it just kind of stopped.
Yeah, but I think you're forgetting that they have spent money though. Like they've bought 2 midfielders. They've bought true, Alistair and Szoboszlai. Like they've spent money there, and apparently, you know, whether it was a real bid or not, but it was real. Pretty sure it was real. They were going to spend 110 million on.
They were going to break the British.
Yeah, but as a Liverpool fan, would you not just be a bit pissed off that like you?
Oh, they are.
I guess they probably didn't expect. They probably didn't expect to lose Milner, Fabinho, and Henderson all in the same window, right?
No, I don't think you realise, Chaz. They're turning their nose up at Amrabat. They don't want Amrabat because they're so pissed off at what they've lost out on. They want like Tchouaméni. They're looking at like the top players and that. Yeah. And they need to get a reality check. They need to get, because unfortunately Chelsea are a bigger club than you lot at the minute. Chelsea finished 12th. They're not even in Europe.
Yeah, Chelsea you can't compete at the moment. It's ridiculous.
You can't. And apparently they're not getting in trouble with FFP because they've sold so many players. No, for the next couple of seasons, they won't be in any trouble with FFP because they've actually banked so much money.
No, that's true.
The loophole is the contracts.
The length of contracts they're giving is
because they're like 7 years.
8 years for Caicedo. It's 8 years for Caicedo, yeah. And the thing is, these bastards have got it in just early enough because apparently the Premier League are going to change that now.
Yeah, he found, apparently, to be fair, if he's done anything right, Todd Bowley found that loophole. And now the Premier League were going to change it, for like next year.
Yeah, because if you do 100 million over 8 years, like it actually doesn't look like that much on your transfer budget. Let's say you're doing it yearly, it doesn't actually look like that much. And if you're selling Havertz for 65 million, if you're selling Mount for 55 million or whatever it was,
our 2 idiot fallen giants clubs have completely contributed to this. We have as well.
We have. And don't get me started on Havertz because I don't see
forget it. That. We'll get into it another time, yeah? But we funded it, and now Chelsea, Chaz, they're getting Elise, son. They're getting Elise.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Madueke playing? Where is he going to play now as well? This is fucked.
But at the before these signings, right? They already had like a 32-man squad.
No, so but Ollie, they've got rid of. I don't think you and Maddison have realised how many players they got rid of.
But still, when they've got rid of those players, I'm sure the last time I checked, which was like at the weekend, it was plus 30.
No,
they still need to get rid of so many.
Ziyech is leaving today. He's going to Galatasaray as well. They've practically filtered down their squad perfectly.
And also, some of them signings will go on loan. Some of the youngsters.
Yes, they're going to. Todd Bowley bought Strasbourg in France, so they're going on loan to Strasbourg. I'm telling you right now, Chelsea are they're one of the best run clubs in world football right now. I don't think people see it at the minute as well, and that because what they've done and buying a whole nother club in France to get this player first team experience in a good league as well. And they've bought for now and for the next 5 to 10 years as well. Like they're sweeping up all the best talents in world football. And they're also buying players that are ready made. Ollie Caicedo, Premier League experience, Elise, Premier League experience. Like they are. I like their plan. I don't think people are giving them enough credit for it. Everyone's got these kind of a bit angry at the minute at Chelsea because they spent 870 odd million in a year, which is unprecedented. No one's ever done that in the history of football. But they have bought wisely. Since Potter left, most of their signings I can get on board with, to be honest. Yeah.
What did you actually make of the game though? Did you see good signs?
The game. Honestly, they're Chaz, be ready for Chelsea. Are you ready for them?
I've agreed with you. I know they're coming back.
Wait, you're on board. Wait, maybe Ollie then. You're on board. They will be back very soon, sooner than we think.
Yeah, no one disagreed with you.
No,
everyone knew it was just a matter of time. Who are you trying to convince?
Ollie, you've gone to Chelsea. You've gone to Chelsea so much recently as well.
Because they were ridiculously underwhelming.
Okay, but do you believe in Poch?
Yeah, I think he'll do well. It's good with young players and stuff. Actually, when you go through their starting 11, it's quite.
Where are they finishing?
Minimum 6.
Minimum 6? No. What is this? Ollie, they've just spent $1 billion in a fucking year. That can't be the aim.
Oh, I don't care about Chelsea. I don't care what their aims are. I only focus on my own club.
No. They definitely no. They forget that. Forget top. They should be going for the league. To be honest,
with Caicedo and Enzo in midfield.
That's the best midfield. That's the best midfield in world football.
Yeah, if you think about like, last game as well, like it was no disrespect to him, like, but there's worlds apart when you think of Gallagher and Caicedo. So, like,
but who's gonna actually? This is a good point. Who's gonna play? So you've got Enzo and then Caicedo.
Yeah.
Who's going to be that, like, 3rd or 10 or?
It's Nkunku. It'll be Nkunku when he comes.
Nkunku. Yeah.
And then Chaz, we've obviously got they can flexible like Chukwuemeka is in there. Who else they got? I mean, I guess I don't know if Gallagher will stay on it. They've got options. They've got Andre Santos. They've got options.
Yeah. I still think they need to. Like, because Sterling obviously started from against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I said this to Chaz when the lineups came out. I went, oh shit, I've actually totally forgot Sterling was still a Chelsea player.
No, they need to get rid of Sterling. Forget about it.
He's going to be under jeopardy because of the likes of Elise, Madueke, Mudryk. There's a lot of competition now in his place, younger competition.
I don't think
they can keep if they can keep James and Chilwell fit.
Well, that is important.
James was phenomenal on the weekend. I thought, but we have to give all the credit to Enzo, man. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was amazing.
He was, Ollie. Some of the touches, the way he got out, I know, wriggled out.
He was getting in such good positions as well.
He was passing, was on point. We all know how much I love Enzo. I think he's got potential to be like the best midfielder in the world, to be honest. Like number 8 anyway. But like he's just everything you want in it. He's got the South American kind of grit about him. He's got everything you want. He can dictate. For me, I call him generational because I compare him to the likes of Toni Kroos, players like that. Yeah, he can dictate games by himself. He's that good.
And imagine him, and how good he is, and then putting Caicedo next to him.
So good. It's the most balanced midfield. It is so good, isn't it? You couldn't ask for a better midfield. You could ask for a better. Like, it's scary. It's scary times. It is scary times.
It's actually, you put a graph. Do you remember when we were in for Caicedo and you found that graph that showed how balanced it would be if Rice, Caicedo and Odegaard were in midfield together?
Chelsea about to have that with Enzo and Nkunku and Caicedo eventually. Yeah. That is scary good. Fuck me. All of a sudden, we got Chelsea to worry about again, for God's sake.
But I still think, however good their midfield is and however good they will eventually be, this season hugely relies on James and Chilwell.
Oh, I just realised as well, you said who would play instead of Sterling. Elise will play, probably.
Yeah. I was saying about the Madueke, Elise and all them players. Mudryk, yeah.
Jesus
Christ. It is, I know. See, look, Chaz is starting to realise now, isn't it?
And to be fair, I saw enough from Jackson to think that he's going to score.
That Jackson looked bright, actually.
He did look good.
He's very raw. It's just, he just needs to find a goal. And then
you just feel like he's going to click, though. You just feel like it's going to happen eventually. Fuck my life. For God's sake.
They're coming back, aren't they?
It's so bloody annoying.
But actually, let's not.
If they dare get Diogo Costa from Porto now to end the window, it's the best window of all time. It is, honestly.
No, but let's actually not forget that game wasn't that impressive. I found it quite underwhelming.
Okay.
I didn't find that they were two amazing teams that were going at each other.
No.
Like Liverpool didn't look great, and at times Chelsea definitely didn't look great.
Liverpool started the first like half an hour or so better, but then I think Chelsea dominated that second half. They absolutely rinsed them. Like they
were much better second half.
Liverpool could not get anywhere, could they? In that they were just lacking. Like it was that middle, wasn't it? They just couldn't get hold of the ball.
But it could have gone the opposite way, where we talk about, and that is probably the game plan for Liverpool. But they start early, and if they were 2-0 up, it would be probably a different game. I
was just impressed. Early. I was impressed how quickly Poch has implemented his style that quickly into Chelsea, and I like the way he reverted to the three at the back for that game with the wing backs.
I do like the fact that Silva's sitting in the middle with the two younger.
Yeah, that's really good idea. Really, really good idea from.
Because then, if you've got James and Chilwell on either side of them, that's such a good balance.
Well, the thing is, Chilwell was so high up at points. Colwill was basically playing left back for them as well. Like he was impressive as well.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, so that was a good game. And then I don't know. What else there was?
Well,
Newcastle,
the other
Villa.
I mean, to brief on, like we don't want to go in too much depth because we've got a preview, but Newcastle. I mean, it's not changing my thoughts for Villa having a good season, but Newcastle put a stamp on that 5-1 win.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it might be changing my thoughts about Newcastle season though. That's the only thing. Like, I think the biggest. Where did we put them, Chaz, in the predictions? 7th or 8th?
You put them 10th or something like that, didn't you?
We put them 7th, I think. Oh, no.
You don't rate Eddie Howe.
Just below Villa. We put Villa 6th. We put Newcastle 7th.
No, I still think Newcastle will finish. I know it's reactionary as well and stuff like that, but I think me and Chaz have always been on board. There's something special going on at Newcastle. I remember putting out tweets.
You're not like reinventing the wheel.
No.
Everyone thinks that.
No, Ollie. I saw it early.
To be fair, though, people, no one actually understood what they were doing, especially at St James's Park. Yeah. Like,
oh mate, that stadium is a fucking fortress.
Maybe we got it wrong because I genuinely think they could go unbeaten at home.
Yeah, they could. Season. They could genuinely go unbeaten at home this season. They're that good at home. Like it's scary times, but. Fuck me. I mean, to be honest, during that game, Villa did impress me at certain points as well. But Newcastle just blitzed them in the second half.
Well, no one actually. I don't think for me that was probably the shock of the weekend. Like, I didn't expect to see that result.
Biggest shock, 100%. Biggest shock of the weekend, 100%. Because they were relentless in it. This Newcastle team, surely they've got to be the hardest workers in the league. They've got to be the hardest runners because they are. It tires me watching them. It's so good. And Tonali just fitted in, got his goal really early on.
Really impressive.
Great for him. And they just picked up where they left off, man. And they're such a momentum.
Players they brought on as well. Barnes looked sharp. Wilson looked sharp.
Yeah. Eddie Howe seems to have got like this squad so motivated, don't it? He just seems to have this spirit with them, and it just gets them. I mean, can you imagine Champions League nights?
That'll be fucking crazy,
mate. I'm gonna watch that first home Champions League game for them because the stadium is going to be electric. It's gonna be mad. Whoever they play, I guarantee you they beat them. I guarantee.
Oh yeah.
First game. I don't even care.
They'll beat them on energy alone, like literally just energy from the stadium alone.
I think they gobble up Barcelona if they play Barcelona at St James's. I really think they could smash them. Because
they swallow teams up. They really do.
Yeah.
And they won't give anyone respect. Like,
no. It's crazy. And obviously, we're seeing a few snippets from the Amazon thing that they've got going on now as well. You can see Eddie Howe has just got a fire right up their arse, and they all respect him as well. Oh, and also, we haven't even talked about Isak. Fucking hell.
Oh, he was fucking crazy.
How someone is saying there's been controversial somewhat shouts behind Haaland. Isak might be in the running if he can stay fit all season as being one of the second, third best strikers in the league.
No, he's got potential. Like, that's not a crazy shout. He has potential to do it.
Someone's saying he could get, what do you get 2 in that game? Yeah. He could get 20 to 25 goals in the Premier League with the amount Newcastle are going to score.
Yeah, no, he can. Yeah, he can.
Well, but you've got to compare him to the other strikers that are in the Premier at the minute. Well, like now, Kane's gone.
Kane's gone. Yeah.
So, Tony's not going to be
available
in the season 5. Is it that half of it? I think.
Yeah, half of the season.
So then, who else are we talking about? Like,
He's in the talks with the likes of, I don't know, Jesus. Obviously you've got the Liverpool strikers like Nunez, who are expecting bigger things. Yeah, he's in that kind of. I mean, really, yeah, it does seem quite. He's already had half a season in the Prem, or no, nearly a full season, sorry, in the Prem. So he should be kicking on in that team.
He should explode this season.
And one thing about him, he's a very unique profile, isn't he? Of striker, like he's quite awkward. He's an awkward player to deal with. He's quite skinny, but it works in his favor and stuff like. He's quite hard to keep hold of, and he's quite flexible and quite agile. For how tall he is, he's like what, 6'2" or 6'3". He's
quite slim though as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's slim, but it worked to his advantage. And also that second goal, the way he dinked the keeper under that pressure was unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, he looks good.
He probably is in the top 3. He probably is, or at least has the opportunity to get there.
Remember, your Arsenal fans were tracking his flights and number plates. Just
we wanted him. Yeah.
Ollie, do you not remember that?
What, that we were tracking him to come to us?
Yeah, he was in London clubs and that. We thought we'd.
Yeah, you were tracking him in a nightclub with.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Wasn't he with an Arsenal player in a nightclub or something?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah.
I don't know if Guendouzi was still there at that point or something, but
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Are we still? I mean, we haven't. Do you want to touch on Tottenham? How do you want to do the predictions? Are we going through? Are we actually predicting scores? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think we should predict. Yeah, I think we should, because by the next time we record, it'll probably be after the next game week of fixtures anyway. So.
Yeah, agreed.
Predict game by game and give scores, all of us.
Yeah, game by game. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Do you want to give Spurs any kind of light?
Well, I mean, the thing, I think Spurs are just going to be like this all season. Like, I just think, like,
do you think that game really depicts what they're going to be like a lot of the time? Like you're not impressed. I was quite impressed with them.
Yeah, some people I thought were a little bit harsh on them. I got a few reactions that were a bit like. They weren't that good. I just think they're just going to be a team that attack and concede goals. So there will be 2-2 draws. There will be some 3-2 wins, 3-2 losses.
I don't think it's anything to do with Ange, though, because I thought I saw the philosophy there straight away, yeah. But I just think he's lacking personnel. That's all it is. He's lacking the players.
He's like. I mean, to be fair to Maddison, he stepped up.
Mate, Maddison, look, fuck it. We know. I love Maddison. He's such.
They're lacking quality, really, aren't they? They are lacking quality because you're still seeing players.
Don and Richarlison were horrendous. Even Kulusevski. But I'll tell you what, I was impressed with basically all their new signings and obviously Basuma.
Yeah, Basuma.
Basuma, man.
Well, Basuma should have a better season, right? Because apparently he was held back by.
Yeah,
Conte. So, like, he should be one of their stars this season.
We know how good Basuma is. We know how good he is. How he was good at Brighton. This guy is such a brilliant midfielder, like press resistant, technical. Like, he's just brilliant to watch. He's such a good footballer to watch. And he dominated that game, to be honest. And I even like Chaz. I don't know if did you watch most of that game?
Yeah.
I thought Destiny looked really good at left back as well. This Destiny Odogi. I know Maddison was bigging him up because they signed him and then put him back on loan to Udinese. He looks like he's got all the tools to be a top fullback.
Yeah, I watched a fair bit of him in pre-season as well.
He's good. He's really good. So, and I like Van der Veen as well. I think Van der Veen looked good as well. Van der Veen, because he just looks like a monster. Like, in terms of, like, it looks like they've signed at the back like proper athletes at the back. They've got now.
The only thing I'd say about them, though, is just to chuck a point out, and I don't know if this is true or not true. Leadership in their team is going to be something that's lacking now. Like Lloris and Kane. So I think Son wore the armband on the weekend.
Is the captain. Son's the new captain.
And then it went to Maddison, who they've basically just signed. So they haven't really Maddison got any. I'm not sure what their leadership group's going to look like, how many people are going to drag them through tough games and stuff like that. Because to be honest with you, you see Son go missing in so many games.
I know.
Especially at those top, like, big, tough games. Imagine them going to Newcastle away. We were just talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Do you think Son's the type of character that's going to drag a Spurs team through that?
As Chaz said, they are going to come up short in a lot of games this season.
Yeah, I think they'll get a few batterings. I think they will get battered a few times.
Yeah. But I feel like they could dish out a few batterings as well. That's the thing.
No, they will. Yeah, it's just going to be. I think Spurs fans probably prefer it. I think it's going to be a bit up and down all season.
I think you lot remember how confident you were going away to their stadium, like when you won 2-0 last year. Yeah, I think you'll be more worried this year. Not because Spurs are so much better, but you know they're going to be up for the occasion, and you know they're going to play some football when they play you next time round.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So it will be a tougher game. I think it will be a tougher game. But yeah, no, I was somewhat impressed with them. Brentford away is hard. First game of the season, isn't it? It's a hard game.
Cool, yeah. All right, so I'll go one by one. I'll do it in order for the weekend's games, and we can give our scores, and then we can obviously discuss in the next podcast. So Friday night, it is Nottingham Forest versus Sheffield United.
Ollie's
excited, Ollie?
Well, I didn't even react. I actually didn't even react.
By the way, Ollie is not watching that game. Ollie's not watching that game.
Because you said it, and Ollie just looked like he was staring into my soul as he said it, because he just didn't have no reaction to that. What do you think of that?
It just sounds, to be honest with you, it sounds like one of those games you can just miss.
Not for the football purists like me and Chaz. Yeah. Not for the.
I'm gonna go Knots 2-0.
I might take a trip up to Nottingham just for that game.
Shut up.
Take a trip. Yeah, I think Nottingham Forest first home game of the season. Sheffield United dog shit. I think I'm gonna go 3-0 Forest.
Yeah, I'll go 3-0 as well.
Yeah, 3-0 Forest. Yeah.
So no one's going Sheffield, no?
No.
By the way, we think Sheffield United are the worst team in the league. So
yeah.
How many wins actually? While we're on, how many wins do you think they'll get this season?
5.
Yeah, 5 push.
5,
yeah. That's close, yeah.
I'm gonna go 3.
Fucking hell, that's.
I think that it might be one of the worst Premier League teams in history.
Chaz, who holds the records? Derby, Derby County is the lowest. I think they had 11 points all season.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. But some people think that's going to happen. Some people think that's happening to Luton, though. Some people think Luton is.
No, I think Luton will be better than Sheffield United.
Yeah, we agree with that.
I think Ross Barkley can drag them out of games.
Funny enough, Luton is the next on the list, but it's postponed.
What?
Oh, really?
Because of their stadium or something.
It's not ready yet for Premier League, their stadium.
So they can play away.
You still have to walk through someone's back garden.
You have to walk through Subway. I think there's
So I think
someone opens their front door and back door, and that's how you walk into the stadium.
Actually, mental. Imagine.
So anyway, 3:00 we have Liverpool versus Bournemouth.
I'll go 3-1 to Liverpool.
So home, yeah.
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Remember, it was 9-0 last year. It was
I'm going 4-0 Liverpool.
No, don't disrespect and no. Chaz needs to stop disrespecting Bournemouth yet as well. 3-1, a nice comfy loss for Bournemouth as well. They are. I'm telling you, Chaz. Have you heard the news? They might be getting Tyler Adams now added to that midfield as well.
That's nice.
I think Liverpool win it, but they'll concede 2-1.
2-1 Liverpool, okay. Quite an entertaining one because of the performance against United. Wolves Brighton.
Oh shit!
And obviously Brighton got off to a 4-1.
Yeah. Man, like
a Wolves going to actually get a goal though. That's the thing. They were bright, but do they have anything to finish off? And Brighton are just beastly.
I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton. I'll go 2-1 Brighton.
I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going to go 3-1 Brighton.
Okay.
A little derby, Fulham Brentford.
Chaz disrespected both of those teams in one sentence.
A little derby.
Little derby.
This needs to stop. This disrespect from Chaz to all the teams in the Premier League.
It is a little derby.
This is a serious thing.
Little derby.
I'll be going to that as well. I'll be at Craven Cottage.
You're gonna have to do a Fogden and run to every single game.
Yeah, you stop going to all these games and focus on Tottenham versus United. For God's sake, you can go to Tottenham.
I don't want to go to Tottenham. Seriously, I've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, go on then. Fulham Brentford, a derby, a big derby.
That'll be a tough game, actually.
Oh God, that's a draw written all over, isn't it? That's a real draw. That's a 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going.
What, going 0-0?
Oh, we're all going for draws, yeah.
I'm going draw. Tottenham United, 5:30 Saturday.
I'm really worried for this.
White Hart Lane, yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried for this one. First game, White Hart Lane as well, under Ange. If we perform like we did at Wolves, fucking hell, shit, we're in trouble.
I believe in you, Nick. I believe in you. I think it will be 3-2 United.
Fucking hell. I'm gonna go
Last minute winner in the 8th minute of added time.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
No confidence.
I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs as well.
Yeah, 2-1 Spurs. I think we could take the lead in this, and actually, I think we'll concede late that second goal for some reason. I think we'll concede late in that.
And then 8 o'clock on Saturday, we're watching both of them. Man City, Newcastle.
Shit. You know what? Because no De Bruyne, I know it sounds mental, but Newcastle aren't going to be easy.
No, Newcastle still have a lot of fire at the moment in time. Before any European starts, they're going to have so much fire. I'm still going to go 1-0 City.
I was thinking that in my head. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1 for that. I think it's early season City, I feel like, as well.
I'm going to agree with
Yeah,
Ollie.
that's a good shout.
I'm going to go 1-0 City.
Okay.
Villa on Sunday, Villa Everton.
Oh, shit. Everton might be in for a spanking here because Villa are going to want to respond, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Villa.
I'm going to go 3-0 Villa.
I'm going 2-0 Villa.
Yeah, I'm going to go... Actually, I might get... I'm going to 3-1 Villa. Another derby. West Ham.
There's a little one.
This is a huge one. West Ham, Chelsea.
Oh, actually, it's got a bit of spice, that one. West Ham, Chelsea.
So West Ham drew, didn't they?
I think it'd be 3-1 to Chelsea.
Really?
Yeah. I think West Ham are gonna be too passive in this. I feel like Chelsea might dominate this one.
I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea.
Ward-Prowse being eligible to play.
Yeah. If Maguire was playing, I'd say West Ham win. But
you know how much I rate Ward-Prowse, innit?
Yes.
I'm gonna back the boys. I'm gonna go 1-0 West Ham.
Okay.
And then the final game of the weekend on Monday is Crystal Palace Arsenal.
Do you remember last season we all watched it together Friday night? The season. You lot will win 3-0.
4-0.
I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. So yeah.
Remember, Palace have lost Elise and Zaha. I don't think. Yeah.
They actually might be in trouble this season. Yeah.
They could be.
Well,
just
if
the
they
last
leave
one.
it, what are they doing? They need to make some signings.
Did you lot? All right, Chaz sounds like a Palace fan. Did you lot see, by the way, before we finish, Roy Hodgson?
Yeah.
You see him get angry?
No, I haven't seen it.
He squared up against the player.
You're going to piss yourself.
I swear. I'll watch it as soon as we finish.
A player has gone to push him in the stomach because he's trying to collect the ball to take a throw. And then Roy Hodgson grabs the player's shirt and goes, "Roy, what are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah, you see his face as well.
He was fuming. Oh, But yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there then and be back next week. Hopefully we get some of them predictions correct. Thanks for watching the podcast. Please like and subscribe. What are you doing?
What would you eat?
Huh? I said, please like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.